Hello, welcome. Thanks for everyone for coming today to the live event. We're thrilled to see so many of you here. We've got 210 of us so far, and it's increasing as we speak. I'm not sure if everyone has heard from me, maybe at some point in your Vestaboard journey, but if not, I'm Teresa Gader, and I'm with our customer success team here at Vestaboard. And today, in addition to our founder and CEO, Dorrian Porter, whom many of you already know, you'll also be meeting and hearing from our head of product and delivery, Mark Confroy. Before we dive in, though, let's take a quick look over our agenda so everyone has an idea of what we'll be covering. We're going to start with a company update to get everyone up to speed on the past year. And then we'll move into introducing Vestaboard Plus, where we'll go over what it is and what the subscription offers, which segues nicely into customer access. And that's, again, we'll explain when Vestaboard Plus will be available for customers and how you'll access it. And lastly, we'll leave some time at the end for a brief Q&A session with both Mark and Dorrian. So throughout the event, if you have a question, go ahead and use the Zoom chat function to send those on to our support team user. She'll be compiling those questions, so send those that way. So with that, I think Dorrian is ready and he can start us off.
Great. Thank you so much, Teresa. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for attending today. Thank you for being a customer. This is a customer-only event. I think we've had over 600 RSVPs, and it sounds like many hundreds have already entered the room, so thank you. Most importantly, thank you for being a customer. Whether you received your Vestaboard or are here to find out how many weeks or months it is away for you, we appreciate that. Obviously, this company doesn't exist without with your patience and your kindness and your kind words over the last year, letting us know that you enjoy your Vestaboard. I am going to provide an update on the company and then introduce you to Mark Confroy. Mark has been working very hard with our head of engineering, our software team, our designers to produce Vestaboard Plus, and that's what we're going to announce today. And we're thrilled to do it, and we'll walk you through that offering, and Mark will give you a very comprehensive demo, and that'll be the main point. But first, I wanted to highlight a few things about our company to date. As many of you know, we started a pre-order in 2018. Some of you ordered the product before it was even close to manufacturing, and it took us a couple of years to get to manufacturing, all the way into 2020. But as of November 2021, we have delivered all 3,000 of our founding edition displays. And mass production officially began in November of 2020, and it took us 12 months to go through those 3,000 displays and have them shipped and delivered to all of those customers who participated in a pre-order. If you've ordered your Vestaboard this year in the last 6 months, you are very close to getting your Vestaboard because we are in production. We've moved on from the 3,000. We are producing the next 2,000. But I just wanted to take a minute to highlight the fact that we did deliver those 3,000 founding edition displays from December 2020 to November 2021. And it was an extraordinary effort to be able to do that. We initially planned to enter, well, some of you might say 2019 production, but when we did get around to entering production, it was spring 2020, which of course was the start of COVID. And at the time, just as you did, we thought that might last for a few months, and it pushed production to the end of the year, and we began delivery of the Vestaboards. As you know, COVID has continued and seems to want to continue, and that has introduced unprecedented supply chain challenges for us that we consistently overcome, but we do face those challenges. The main challenges we face is some of our parts require long lead times. In many cases, we'll bridge those lead times by paying higher prices on the spot market in order to build the product. And even more painfully is the logistical challenges of getting our product from the factory overseas to our facilities to deliver them here in North America or in Europe. There are, in many cases, waits at ports that last weeks and weeks in which we have no visibility into how to get our containers out. We are doing everything we can to accelerate that, but that's been a very painful part of this year. And in fact, the logistical part, and you can Google for these kinds of articles, has just gotten worse over the last 18 months. We do expect it to now get better. We do think we are in the worst of it this holiday season. But I just want to explain and say that it's been a very big challenge, and we do work hard every day across our team to help bridge that challenge. One of the most impressive things, I think, is the quality of the hardware we've been able to produce. To deliver those 3,000 displays, it takes over 300,000 of these bits. As most of you know, Vestaboard is modular, and so it contains 132 of these bits that plug into the backplane PCB. We've had to produce over 300,000 for those 3,000 displays. We'll produce another 260,000 for the next 2,000 displays. And we've done that in remarkable quality. We had tested these bits to millions of cycles before we went into production. And I can say very proudly that we've had less than 500 that have had some kind of problem on those first 300,000. It's a very minuscule rate when it comes to hardware. And most of those problems have happened during transportation. One of the flaps has come out, a few of the flaps have been damaged. You'll reach out to customer support, we'll ship out a replacement bit. But in most cases, most customers have not experienced any problems with their bit. I am sorry if you have. In some cases, the Vestaboard itself has had small problems. Again, that's been a very small percentage of our units. I recognize how painful if it's one of your units that you're having that problem in. But we do have a great support team that's here to support you. In one case, we've had a firmware issue with some devices, a hardware issue with some devices, and we believe we have fixed that issue as of this week. So for those few of you that are waiting patiently for a solution, thank you, and I expect that solution to be rolled out to you within the next couple of weeks. We take all of our lessons that we've learned this year and apply them to improve our manufacturing going forward. And so even though we've experienced very few failures, I expect even fewer in 2022. So please, as a customer, especially if you haven't received your Vestaboard, take comfort that we are producing a high quality product. Our goal is that this product will endure, the one that you purchased will endure for a long time to come. It really comes down to the team that's involved in producing Vestaboard. And I just want to thank a few of them on this slide here today. There are about 30 people who work on Vestaboard at any given time, maybe up to 40 at some point. There are some core team members who are intimately involved, like the problem I just talked about, occupies a lot of time. Our entire support operation is overseen by Aaron Clark. Teresa is a part of that organization. Two other individuals, Nicole and Rachel, participate in the support organization. We are there to support you if you need it. We hope you don't need to reach out to support, but know that if you do reach out to support, these team members are there to support you. Hardware is hard sometimes. Sometimes it's our fault. Sometimes it's not our fault. Trying to get to those answers can be a painful process for any customer. I tried to print something this morning with a printer company that's at least 40, 50 years old. It didn't work. I don't know who to reach out to there, but one thing I can assure you is that when you reach out to our support team, you will get answers. When it comes to the delivery of the hardware, not only did we work very hard through the R&D and manufacturing process just to get to manufacturing, one of our team members in particular, Ian Geyer, has really had to sacrifice what he does in terms of travel because he has overseen our operations at the factory. And if he were to leave the factory, he may not be able to go back. He is very happy where he is, luckily, but it also means he hasn't been able to travel over the last 2 years at all. And so for that, we really have to congratulate and thank Ian Geyer, who has overseen the quality of production that you are seeing from our partner factory. And he works very, very hard to deliver the product so that it can ship through the logistical nightmare to get to our facilities to ship to you. We have a great team, and I'm very grateful for that team for all the work that they do to make Vestaboard successful for you. On the next slide, I want to just set the stage for how we've done and where we're going. So I mentioned the 3,000 founding edition slides, or founding edition units. We're on a path by the end of this year to have sold a total, including those 3,000, of 5,000. And the rest of those 2,000 will deliver between now and spring. So if you ordered earlier this year, you are very, very close to receiving your Vestaboard within a matter of weeks. If you ordered from the summer onward, we have told you spring delivery. And based on all of the challenges we've faced in the past, we feel confident about that. We've incorporated those lessons into our delivery timetable. Our goal in 2022, by the end of next year, the same time this year, next year, we would have liked to have sold 10,000 total displays. That's what we're working for on the sales side to grow our company in order to provide great service across all of our customer base. We want to reach that goal in 2022, just to give you some sense of scale of the company. Some of you have asked how you can help us hit that goal, and some of you continuously help us hit that goal with your word of mouth referrals to others. In the United States, unfortunately not in the rest of the world due to some legal restrictions, and we will look at these over time. In the United States, we have launched a referral program, which offers $200 to you and a $200 discount to whoever purchases the Vestaboard. And you can access your customer referral link on the app, inside of the core mobile app that you have today, under today's picks. If you scroll across to the right and click on share link, that will give you your private URL to share with any friend, family member, coworker, customer, who could then purchase the Vestaboard from that link, receive a $200 discount, and you will receive $200 credit from us for referring that Vestaboard owner to us. We wish we could roll it out immediately to other countries. We will continue to look at that as we go into next year, but that referral program exists today, and I'm sure you'll hear more about it from us in the coming 12 months. Our vision is to create a messaging platform that connects and inspires people. We are starting with this flagship product, and we're going to stay focused on this flagship product for the coming 12 months. As I mentioned, we're trying to hit 10,000 total units in the market by the end of next year. On top of that, we want to be able to deliver a great experience. It takes a lot of work to build solid hardware and great software, and we intend to do both. And then over time, in the future, we plan to launch additional displays on top of the software platform. I want to give you an example. One of the reasons I created Vestaboard was to be able to send messages to my kids while I traveled. I did not want to get them another television set or digital display to send messages on. And somehow that embarked me on this journey to create Vestaboard. I can envision other types of displays that we can create that can achieve similar things, but will not carry the same purchase price as our flagship product. For example, my daughter is going off to university in the next 9 months. I would love to be able to give her a messaging display that I can use to message her. And I'm not going to spend what we ask for Vestaboard for that display for her when she goes to university to her dorm. But I can envision other displays. So over time, not immediately, over time, you will see us launch additional devices on top of the platform. Our goal is to create a great company, one that does inspire you to connect with others in your life, whether it's friends or family or customers or guests. And this is the platform we're trying to build today. And a big part of that is the launch of Vestaboard Plus today. In order to achieve our vision, we need to build a great company. Today, we're launching Vestaboard Plus, and I'll talk about that very briefly before I introduce Mark Confroy. Vestaboard Plus is a paid subscription offering that is an optional offering. We have our core software product. Vestaboard Plus is going to be a very reasonably priced optional offering that automates your Vestaboard. And I've had customers tell me, you can't charge for any kind of Vestaboard software. We think we've come up with a reasonable price. I'll explain it at the end of the demonstration, but I want to tell you why we're charging for the automation of your Vestaboard with Vestaboard Plus. Not only have we come up with a great offering, but there's two questions I often get. What happens if you ever go out of business? And can you please make us more stuff to do with your Vestaboard? And those two things go hand in hand in ensuring that we create a company that is a good business, one that we can invest into software, one that we can invest into our people, one that we can invest into making sure the hardware is great. And this is why we're launching Vestaboard Plus today as an optional paid subscription offering. You should be aware, most of you are, that we have a core software offering that will remain free. So in addition to what we're launching today as an optional Vestaboard Plus offering, there is a core software offering that you can use today that will continue to be free. And next, we'll show you a video of that core software offering.
With Vestaboard's core mobile and web apps, your message capabilities are endless. From anywhere in the world, easily send and schedule messages for loved ones, team members, or customers. Have Vestaboard place your messages beautifully, or let your creativity run wild with the colorful visual editor. Send messages instantly or schedule for the right time. Get fresh inspiration and artistic design with today's picks. View and edit past sends, save favorites, or start new drafts. Share your most inspiring messages on social media or through chat apps. Invite others to send messages to your Vestaboard from wherever they are. Allow Vestaboard to sleep when you do by setting a time zone and daily quiet hours. Pair and control multiple Vestaboards from the same account. Whether it's at home or at work, inspire your favorite people to look up with Vestaboard's mobile and web apps.
So the video describes for you the core software offering, and today we're introducing Vestaboard Plus. Before we do that, before I introduce Mark, who's our head of our software product, who's been working with this great team, I want to acknowledge the team that's been working on the software. And I'm going to describe a little bit of the journey of how we got here. In fact, on this slide, in addition to our head of software engineering, Chris Jelly, and our head of design, Daniel Hernandez, and the great team at Rubicol who's helped us with our mobile apps, there's two individuals that have played an instrumental role in getting to the decision to launch Vestaboard Plus, and that's Sully Saeed and Jack. I mentioned their names again as I walk through the evolution to Vestaboard Plus. When we launched Vestaboard, we envisioned having a platform that offered free web and mobile apps, as we've just shown you. And in addition, launching an API, which is short for Application Programming Interface, which is what developers will use to build applications on the Vestaboard platform. We envisioned launching that. And when we did, we invited developers to build on our platform different kinds of apps. And in fact, in January, inside of our web application, we have a beta section where third-party developers were invited to build applications for our customers. We also built an integration into IFTT, which opened a range of different applications that you could tie to your Vestaboard. Over the first 6 months of this year, we learned that was more difficult than we expected. Having third-party developers on our platform developing for our customers was probably a bit premature on our part. In fact, two of those developers, Jackson and Sully, the ones that I mentioned on the last slide, we actually started to engage with them and talk to them and decided it would make more sense to bring their applications within our framework and launch them as a consistent user experience, which is what gives rise to Vestaboard Plus. And so sometime in mid-year, we changed course and we decided that we should launch the very first set of foundational applications under the name Vestaboard Plus. It does not mean that we will not be inviting developers to develop on our platform. When it comes to developers, they will continue to have access to the Cloud API for free for their personal use. And there is an opportunity for them to continue to build on the platform with us to see if we can, when we can identify how to launch third-party applications in the future. In addition, for developers, there's a third party, you will use our free Cloud API to do so. However, many developers would like access to a device API. That would mean that developers could tie things to their own applications, either in their own networks or through the cloud with their own protocols, bypassing our cloud. In January, we do have plans to announce a device API, share that with our developer community, get feedback, and build that into our roadmap in the first half of the year. We did want to mention that we have a Slack community for developers. And so please, if you are not on the Slack community, we already have 150 developers on the Slack community. If you are not yet on the Slack community, please reach out to support@vestaboard.com to be able to access that Slack and share more information about how to use the API and to be kept updated on the device API that we plan to launch. With that, today is about Vestaboard Plus. So the evolution of Vestaboard Plus has been to still provide the automation of your Vestaboard to you in a way that is simple and easy to use, and we hope very exciting for you. And with that, I would like to introduce Mark Confroy, who's going to demonstrate Vestaboard Plus to you, and thank him for all of his hard work and leadership to get us to a point where we're launching Vestaboard Plus.
Thanks, Dorrian. We're super excited to launch Vestaboard Plus and open up a whole new world of content for customers. It's been a labor of love, to say the least, based on lots of great beta feedback over the last 6 to 7 months, and we're really excited that it's almost here. Vestaboard Plus will be available within our core mobile and web platforms to allow you to automate and customize your ideal daily schedule for Vestaboard with ease. Today, I'm going to focus on 3 pillars of Vestaboard Plus. It's real-time updates and integrations, the diverse range of curated content that we're launching with, and the ability for you to submit your own creations as well. So with our real-time updates and integrations, you can sync Vestaboard with the content that matters most to you, whether that's breaking news or recent headlines from your favorite news outlets around the world, or maybe your local weather as a morning briefing, detailed report, or weekly summary. We've got real-time sports scores from your favorite teams and leagues. And one of my personal favorites is showing what's currently playing from my Spotify account. You can also sync your work or family calendar to stay up to date, or in my case here, on time for my son's school play last night. And you can also see how your portfolio is performing, blended in with some trusted sources to gauge when to buy or sell. If you're looking for more of a party trick, control Vestaboard without using the app at all with voice controls like, "Hey Alexa, ask Vestaboard to show me a drink recipe," or "tell me a joke," or "start the day with some inspiration." And as Dorrian mentioned earlier, via IFT, you can still quickly sync with other services too, like telling Vestaboard to automatically send a message whenever you're entering the neighborhood. So now let's talk about the diverse range of curated content that will be available within Vestaboard Plus. We're taking today's picks to a whole new level with a growing library of automated channel topics. So no matter your interests, there's something here for you. Get a morning pick-me-up as you're walking out the door, or dad jokes galore. There are tons of decade-specific channels to relive your glory days, or you can get into the holiday spirit, whatever the next one may be. We have attributed quotes from Shakespeare, Churchill, Martin Luther King Jr., and many more. Or you can automatically receive one of our color patterns from today's picks. Learn a new word, periodic table element, or state flower, or keep the team going with channels dedicated to entrepreneurship. We'll have your favorite lyrics broken down by artists, genre, and era, and you can get motivated from famous coaches or maybe your favorite Peloton instructor. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Friends, Princess Bride, all of the most memorable lines will be there. Plus, we have cocktail recipes, travel quotes, and everything in between. Our team will be adding channels of content every week, and we're excited to share that you can also do that. Already teed up for launch, and we have no doubt that we can reach hundreds of thousands in no time with submissions from the customer community. Vestaboard was founded on the mission of inspiration and connection. So let's watch this short video together on how you can submit your own content through our message set creator, and I'll add color as we go. So for starters, you can find the message set creator right from the home screen of Plus. And by default, every new channel that you make is going to be private for just your Vestaboard. We'll get into how you can also share that with a larger community at the end. But for starters, you got some basic settings, including your own icon, title, and description. This is super helpful since you can do more than one to quickly find the previous message sets that you made when you want to go back and make edits later on. There's also a ton of customization that you can do within this view, including automatically including the title that you come up with as the first row of your message, including a color on the corners, similar to some of our other automations. So be thoughtful in the title you use and check out that feature so that you can have a consistent look across every single message that sends from that particular message set. I'm doing shower thoughts here because who doesn't like to start the morning with some deep thoughts? So I'll go with the Paris blue option. Another big feature here is the wide variety of frequency options that you have, which is a huge piece of feedback we got on our beta recurring messaging offering. You can see here, you can slice and dice it to as granular or as wide as you'd like. And you can also sort based on how you like the messages to send, whether that's going in a specific order or randomized like I've done in this example. The next step is adding messages themselves. You can do that manually one by one, or you can actually save a lot of time by doing that as a CSV upload like we're showing here. I already made all these in advance, so instead of boring you with those one by one, you can see I've updated them here and they are beautifully laid out without me really doing much work other than having a CSV ready to go. You can quickly monitor to make sure all the content is what you expected, the formatting looks right, and you can move up and down as you'd like if you are wanting to maintain a specific order. And there's also an ability straight from here to either edit or delete messages if you change your mind. One other feature that we quickly pass through is the ability to also import via RSS, or you can manually add more on the fly like I'm doing right now, which pulls up the visual editor as an option to continue to add one by one. I'm doing an ode to our Canadian founder, Dorrian, and Soli, who built this tool, who are both holding it down from Canada. Soli is definitely an A player, so this one felt right to add before we hit save. And you can see now that that last one is now included on the bottom. I can keep going with more manual ads, or I can complete setup here and see everything that is ready to go. I can continue to adjust settings if I'd like. And then this last tab is the ability to share to make the channel public. Like I mentioned, it automatically defaults to private to just your Vestaboard. But if you're really proud of one of your creations, you can submit it to our team to review, to add it as a new discovery channel from the larger list of curated topics that we were going over earlier. So we can't wait to review the submissions that come in, and would love for you to give it a try after you activate Vestaboard Plus and let us know what you think. Speaking of letting us know what you think, we'd also love to take your temperature on what we've covered so far. We have 5 areas of focus in terms of Vestaboard Plus channel types, and we're curious which you're most excited about. I'm going to launch the poll now and then kind of go through each one of these different areas of focus to add more color, but feel free to start voting now if you'd like. So make your own would be more tools like what we just walked through with the message set creator. Imagine doing the same for your own live polls or countdowns or reminders, or uploading items and prices and letting Vestaboard Plus mock up a menu board for your storefront. We also see a future where you can allow one-time cameo sends to your Vestaboard without inviting someone to manage your Vestaboard full-time. Those would all be make your own scenarios. Curated topics is going to continue to be a huge focus for us, both from the internal team and all the great submissions that we see from the community. If you'd like to see more of that, which categories would you like to see most of? App integrations are also going to be a huge focus heading into 2022 as well. Many more to come, like Slack or Jira, or a direct tie-in to your e-commerce and order fulfillment platform. More voice controls, updates from your fantasy league. Those are all different examples Real-time updates is another one. More news sources, sports scores, tracking departure and arrival times, specific messaging that's related to that particular day. Those are all examples of real-time updates. And then one category that Sully is really excited about is this concept of party games, like trivia or one-on-one games with friends and more. So please take a second, vote on all the ones that you're excited about and let us know where we should double down. I think we'll give the poll a little bit longer to come in. I see it's a tight race. Give it a couple more seconds. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll now, and hopefully that will reveal the results. It looks like my prediction was right, and app integrations is out in front, real-time updates and make your own right behind it, and curated topics and party games also with a strong showing. So one more thing, last but not least, with all this new automated content available for your Vestaboard, we wanted to make sure you had tools to control, you had the controls you needed to manage your messages easily. So you can use our search, browse, and featured tools to quickly find what's new, and then organize the channels you've added in whatever order makes sense to you. With more automated messages coming your way, you can temporarily mute individual channels or everything for a set period of time outside of quiet hours. And for our multi-Vestaboard customers out there who we love, we'll also be introducing a mirroring tool so that you can send the same content to all of your Vestaboards at once. There's a lot more to come, but with that, I'm going to hand it back to Dorrian to talk about timing for the initial Vestaboard debut.
Thanks, Mark. I can't express my appreciation enough for Mark Confroy, Chris Jelly, Sully Saeed, the entire development team. Mark in particular managed all of our logistics for the first 12 months from end to end, and still does, and ensuring that once it leaves port, it gets to our facilities and delivered to you. But over the last 12 months has taken on product leadership, which will be his role in 2022. He has worked extraordinarily hard to get our initial beta applications that were being launched on our website in the first 6 months. We made a decision to transition the entire platform to Vestaboard Plus over the last 6 months. And he and Chris Jelly and Sully and Daniel on the design side and the team helping us with our mobile apps have done an extraordinary effort over the last 6 months to get us this close to launching. We plan to launch this in the next few weeks with a rollout of emails to our customers. We're applying to our App Store applications now. As soon as those are approved, we'll be able to launch it into our customer base. And this is how we're going to price Vestaboard Plus. $95 per year. If you purchase for 3 years, we will offer a 15% discount. And if you are on this call, it means you are one of our first 5,000 customers, and we are going to make you an even better offer than that. We would like to give you a full year free of Vestaboard Plus to engage with us and to participate so that you can truly get a sense for what it is and be able to participate. We are going to ask you to pay for Vestaboard Plus with the 1 year full discount. If you don't like it, you can ask for a return of your funds. The goal here is to create a strong company, a strong software offering that will make your Vestaboard better and better over the years to come. So in the coming weeks, please look for an email. When you receive that email, you will be invited to subscribe. You do not have to activate or pay for Vestaboard Plus until you receive your Vestaboard. If you haven't received your Vestaboard, that offer will stand until you are physically in possession of your Vestaboard. If you do have your Vestaboard, please look for that offer. You can activate your Vestaboard Plus within the app. You'll be able to use a code in that email once you purchase and to activate it once we alert you that the app's been approved and is available for upgrade. So just like every other app, at some point you'll need to upgrade on the App Store or on the Android store, the Vestaboard application, and Vestaboard Plus will be ready for your use. With the introduction of Vestaboard Plus, thank you so much, Mark, for walking us through that demo. This video will be available live for you to see afterwards, so you can see more of it. If you have any questions or have anything to ask at all, you can get in touch with us through support@vestaboard.com. And next, we're going to take a Q&A, and from there, end this presentation.
All right. Thank you both. We have had a steady stream of questions come in from customers. So let's kick off our Q&A. First question, what is your favorite Vestaboard user story?
Well, I have probably one on work and one at home. Work is probably one of our first customers. Greg Bucheister is an entrepreneur in Menlo Park, California. He bought Vestaboard sight unseen a couple of years ago, many years ago. We installed some digital prototypes in his coffee shop in Menlo Park. He has a total of 6 coffee shops. He's now rolled out Vestaboards to all of them. In fact, the most recent one, he's just purchased Vestaboards. Their team at Coffee Bar really knows how to use Vestaboards for some beautiful visual art combined with menus. We should assemble some of those and share them with the community because they are truly impressive and always delight me because that's where I'll go for coffee in Menlo Park. On the home front, I'm going to stay close to home as well through my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. My brother-in-law bought Vestaboard thinking the whole family would like it, purchased Vestaboard, had it delivered. Margot, my sister-in-law, was maybe unsure when the box arrived, suggested that the Vestaboard go in the games room next to the ping pong table. Within one day, Margot had moved it to the kitchen. Margot and Peter use that Vestaboard every day with my nieces and nephews. Peter tends to send a lot of dad jokes to the Vestaboard. Margot uses it for, just like I do, for inspirational quotes and for birthday celebrations. And I've heard from many of you who have purchased the Vestaboard and maybe had a spouse who wasn't so sure that Vestaboard was able to turn them around and get them really excited about the product and using the product. And all of the customer stories that come in are the ones that delight me, where you let me know and let the team know that you're using it regularly and the entire family loves it.
Okay. How will the product line grow?
Well, as I mentioned, our vision is to focus on the flagship product over the coming 12 to 18 months. We're going to continue to build that product. We see it as an enduring product. Not only do we want the one that you are using in your home to last for a long time, we think this is a product that we don't have to change very much as we continue to manufacture it over the next 5 or even 10 years. And that's our goal there. The software is going to continue to evolve. This is the very start of Vestaboard Plus. And we think, as we just saw, there's so much room for growth in areas of application integrations, party games, content, really an unlimited amount of content. When you think about it, the one thing we can do with language is create a lot of different words and put them together a lot of different ways. And so you're going to see us continue to build out a library of content. And as Mark said, hopefully with your help. And then on the device side, I did hint on the idea that we would be launching additional devices in the future. We're not rushing to that, but I do see different devices in my mind that are not something that our children can turn to YouTube, something that can get us looking up. That's really something that we love about our customers for the most part, is they share this idea that not everything is going to be about looking into the mobile phone in the future. And so we're going to look for other displays over time that we can launch that really help people try to live their life outside exclusively of a small device in our hands.
It looks like someone has written in and asked, I have invited other users to send messages to Vestaboard. Do I have to purchase Vestaboard Plus for each one of them?
I can take that one. That's a great question. Good news. No, it's on a board level. We'll jump back to the previous slide here. You can see at the top, there's a number of Vestaboards as part of checkout, and we have a sliding scale. So for our multi-board users, it will be a discounted rate depending on how many activation codes you are purchasing, but it is intended to be on the Vestaboard level, not on the user level. So if somebody on your Vestaboard has activated Vestaboard Plus, everybody that is involved of all the automations.
All right, thank you. Where do I send suggestions? And I'm assuming this is referring to integrations or a channel of some sort or any type of content.
I can take that one too. We have a great help center, like Dorrian mentioned earlier, and there's a contact us form at vestaboard.com/help. If you hit the contact button, there's a drop down that says that is dedicated for feature requests. So love seeing ideas flow in there, as well as within the Slack community that Dorrian referenced before. There's awesome things being built on our API every day, and it's inspiring for us as we think about pulling in some of those greatest hits into the Plus offering as well.
Okay, looks like a developer question on this one. I've created my own private automations using Vestaboard's API. Will I have to pay for this?
Another great question. You will not have to pay for it. Plus is an optional subscription service to layer on. We built Plus so that every Vestaboard customer could reap the benefits of automations regardless of their development background. We love seeing all the automations that are happening independently, like I mentioned earlier, and we will continue to invest and support that. And those automations that were made privately will continue to be made available for free and supported through all of our backend services.
And I would just add that our intention is to continue to work with developers to see what we might also be able to launch in the future. What we learned in the first 6 months of this year was that we were still a little premature of a platform. We didn't have a lot of the interface appropriately categorized for developers to use. We saw different submissions that involved different use cases for different users, in some cases overlapping, in some cases missing some things. And that's what led us to Vestaboard Plus. But we continue to want to support the developer community. And I want to put an emphasis on not only is the cloud API free to use for any individual, but we will be providing plans for a device API in the first quarter of 2022.
I'm currently using a developer app that shows weather and time in 3 different locations. Will that move to the Vestaboard Plus?
Yeah, there's a good story there. In fact, I mentioned Jackson during the presentation, and Jackson built that on the request and working with one of our customers. And so that's a great example of an application that was seeing great success. And as we talked to Jackson about more opportunity to build things, we made the decision with Jackson that we would build that as part of Vestaboard Plus. So that is one of the applications that will come over, and has a great story to it because one of our customers is the one who actually drove the creation of that app.
To layer on too, I briefly touched on it on the automations slide or the integration slide, but we're also really excited about the different types of weather channels that are available, because another huge piece of feedback we got from customers is like, I like this layout, but I would like to show the UV index and the highs and lows. And other customers just wanted a really quick briefing or a view of what the next week looked like, or a visual representation as like a colored map. So when you get into the weather section of Plus, you can see a variety of different ones that you can mix and match depending on the way in which you like to format your weather updates. And there'll probably be many more to come based on early feedback from Plus users.
Okay. Will the app or software have a simulation mode for testing messages, for example, artwork?
So one of the cool things that I didn't really cover in the demo per se is this idea of before you actually install and configure your settings on an individual channel, there's an ability to preview a message both from a carousel of images in the channel details page, as well as when you're in the configuration itself. So you can kind of see what it's going to look like before you actually commit to it. And then after you've configured it, there's typically going to be an option to display now too, so you can have the payoff of that configuration actually sending to your Vestaboard immediately too, regardless of the cadence that you picked for it to send moving forward. I think that answers the question.
How does the timing handle overlapping notifications? Can we adjust between messages?
Good question. Yeah, so there's a ton of different tools that I kind of hinted at towards the end of my slides. As we start to introduce a bunch of different automations, the run of show, so to speak, is going to probably need to be massaged out over a couple trials. And for one, each individual channel can be its own cadence and frequency, so you can mix and match to in general try to avoid two messages potentially sending at the same time. And things like breaking news alerts or real-time data feeds may not have control over that, and we'll continue to be adding logic to rank precedence depending on preference of the different channels that you have installed.
We've got a question about, we did talk about Alexa, yes. Question is, what about Siri and OK Google for all of us Android people?
Definitely want to support more voice controls. The beauty of the Alexa integration is that we're really confident that we can mix and match a lot of the logic that we use to build that out, so that regardless of what your preferred voice control platform is, you can have that same type of party trick with your Vestaboard.
Well, the other thing too is IFTTT, which is part of Vestaboard Plus and is currently a beta on the web, that does allow some voice integrations as well. So it's always worth, and that's where we started at the beginning of the year. You know, in theory, there's thousands of potential integrations available to you through IFTT. We found that not all of them met the use cases that our customers were asking for. And in some cases, maybe weren't quite delivering on the expectations of us and our customers. That said, it's still a working integration. It's included as part of Plus. And as a result, you do have access to a lot of things, and we'll definitely work with you to help you sort those things out if you need any help.
Will there also be European and international channels for sports, news, and weather?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, our core team is mostly North American based, but we want to make sure that our channel sets reflect our customer base, and we want to have a diverse offering that has something for everyone, like I mentioned before. So if you don't see your preferred news source or a message set that feels on point for your locale, we would love those recommendations. We would love your own submissions to make sure that it is localized. And we'll also continue to be adding more sports scores as well. There's already, I think, 4 or 5 professional football, or as we would say, soccer options available in the initial debut, but we're definitely leaning heavily on our customers to be vocal about what they'd like to see more of.
Will Vestaboard Plus work on both phone and laptop? So I'm assuming they're asking about the mobile app as well as our desktop app.
Yeah, we're super excited about that. For those that have been using the iOS and Android app to date, you've probably noticed there's almost like a placeholder tab at the bottom. It says coming soon type of language, and that is going to be replaced with the full marketplace of discoverable channels that we were showing earlier. So in addition to being able to manage it from web.vestaboard.com, you will also have real-time access to all the same features within the iOS and mobile apps as well.
All right. We've got a question about asking if we can look into integration into Amazon Alexa routines. So the output of an Amazon Alexa routine could be send message XYZ to the Vestaboard. We kind of covered that a little bit, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things that we can do with the Alexa platform, including things like to-do lists, setting timers, all of which could be reflected back on the Vestaboard as well. I'm sure similar functions could be supported through their routines as well.
This looks like a little bit more of a hardware question, but do I need clearing out my Vestaboard with too many messages sending during a day?
We don't think so. It's certainly possible if you were to use Vestaboard every minute of every day. I still don't think you will reach our testing capabilities. I think we measured the bit upwards of 8 centuries of time if they were used every hour of every day. So if you use Vestaboard every hour of every day, the bit should last 8 centuries. That ignores things like gravity, you know, acts of God, how the universe shifts over time, things like that. So there is going to be wear and tear on your Vestaboard naturally as a hardware product, regardless of how much you use it, as long as it's within our regulated minute or so. It's because only a certain message can only get pushed as fast as you can send them. It won't keep changing. You'll probably notice that. You should be good for sure for your warranty period if you truly overuse your Vestaboard like that, and hopefully for many years after. Definitely, we believe if you're using it like I use my Vestaboard, and I'll just give you a hint, I've been using the kind of pre-release version of Vestaboard Plus for a couple of months now. I really use Vestaboard in 4 ways, three ways. One is I have 3 messages that come in every day. So one at 8 a.m. is the weather, one at noon is art of the day, and Beatles lyrics behind me come in at 4 p.m. Second way I use it is real-time Canucks scores, Vancouver Canucks. They're 5-0 right now in the last 5 games. Gonna go see them play the Sharks tomorrow night with my son. When Canucks games turn on, that turns on to my Vestaboard. I love that use case. And then finally, the way I use it is just any kind of special event or special message that I want to send at any given time. I think that's a lovely use case. I see amazing use cases where it's used much more. And quite frankly, I think changing your Vestaboard once a day to change up the room or change up the atmosphere at home is a very great use case as well. But to answer your direct question, I mean, go for it. In fact, the first one who truly breaks their Vestaboard through overuse, please contact me so we can assess it, see what happened, and maybe we can partner on what that means for you.
Okay, maybe we'll take 1 or 2 more. Any thoughts as to a game, both playing with 2 players within the home and playing with another Vestaboard customer?
I think Mark hinted that games have a great direction potential for our customers, for developers, and it's something that we want to look at as a company. We might launch a game, certainly potentially work with developers to build them into Plus, our own developers to build them into Plus, and open to any ideas. And in fact, that's another area as individual developers play with their cloud API or eventually the device API. You know, one great thing about the developer community is they mostly tend to share a lot of what they do. And to the extent that they build things and can share those with us, there's great opportunities to partner around those things over time. So short answer is games definitely have to be on the roadmap, make it a lot of fun at home, or as someone just said, you know, in connection with another Vestaboard user.
Cool. I will wrap it up with one last question. Will you be attending CES in January?
We do have a team going to CES. I am only there for 24 hours, January 4th and 5th. Kristen Keith will be there, same as me, the 4th and the 5th. Mark will be there all week from the 3rd until the 8th. And we'll let our customers know where we'll be during that week. And then 2 of our team members, Carolyn and Zulema, will be there from the 5th until the 8th. So we've got coverage for the whole week. If you're going to be at CES, please send me an email or send an email to support@vestaboard.com. Let us know. Be happy to meet you and especially meet you in person, and thank you in person for all the support you've given.
Okay. Exciting things happening at Vestaboard. It is on the hour, so I think that's the time we've allotted. If we didn't cover a topic you were interested in or get to your specific question, as mentioned before, we love emails, we love questions. Please submit it to our support team. Support@Vestaboard is the email. You're also welcome to submit your question through our contact us form that is also on the website. Again, we love questions, don't be bashful. Thanks again for joining and obviously taking an hour out of your day to hang out with us. We love Vestaboard, so we're biased, but it really is incredible to see all of you out there with the same enthusiasm. So thanks for coming. I think we're going to end with a quick video that we'll share here, which concludes our event. Have a great holiday with whatever you choose to celebrate, and Happy New Year. We'll see you in the new year.
The name of the song can get you to look down, but to discover that great new song on Vestaboard gets everyone looking up. Vestaboard.